Hi, this is Shelley HItz from trainingauthors.com, and I'm joined today with my partner, Heather Hart.
Hi, everyone.
So we're just excited to be here with you today. I have some coffee with me. I love my coffee. And we've been doing some research. We've been reading your questions. We've read every single one of them. We really value each one of you, and so we wanted to offer a time that we can offer personalized attention to the questions that you have.
Our next question comes from Janet. She asks, how do you choose a book title? And that is actually a really great question. And I always recommend just starting with some basic knowledge about your book. You know, what is your message? What good titles always let the reader know what the book is about, and they either play on their emotions or their desire for more. I was reading an article earlier today that had some great examples of that. It was on about.com. It was called Writing Good Book Titles. Their title wasn't so hot, but it was, you know, you could just, I really recommend reading through that if you want some great, clever examples of book titles, and I can link to that as well in our blog post. But then the next thing you would do after, you know, you just brainstorm some ideas, you know, research your keywords and other market titles. Look to see what other titles in your niche are, see what those authors did, and then research the keywords, because keywords are what our readers will search for. And then just brainstorm some and come up with like at least 20 titles, and that way you have something to choose from, and you can get, the more you think, the better your ideas usually get. Instead of just going with your original, come up with several that you can ask your readers about, you know, poll them to see what they respond to. And then we always personally like to check Amazon or Google to see if the title has already been used. Titles aren't copyrighted or protected in any way like book content. However, if there's a series title like The Magic School Bus, that would be trademarked. But unique is still good. I recently read 3 different books, fiction books, with the exact same title. And I just kind of got sick of it. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to read any more books by that title. Like, even though they were all good, I'm just kind of burnt out on that title. So if you just Google it or even type it into Amazon and see what comes up, you know, the more unique your book is, the more people will associate it to you instead of somebody else.
Yeah, and there's actually a link you can look to search for trademarks. And Heather, if you can make a note, maybe we can also include that link in the blog post when we're finished with the video, so that people can actually just go and search for that book title under trademark. I do recommend that. I had a friend, a fellow author, that was approached by a major Christian publisher and said that her book was, you know, she needed to change her book title because it had their trademark in it. And it was a phrase that, it was a very general phrase. I need to ask her again what it was, but it was something like God's promises or something like that. You would never think would be trademarked or copyrighted or whatever, but I always recommend looking and checking before you know, take those next steps. So that's a great tip. Well, stay tuned for on our blog, trainingauthors.com/blog. That's where we post our most up-to-date tutorials and information, and also our newsletter list. So we will be talking to you soon. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Shelley HItz and Heather Hart from trainingauthors.com.